Man, that is going to be a slobber knocker of a game right there.
In all my time, I don't remember somebody scoring 4.
Yeah, if I use the word jetapult, it's actually a word. People don't realize it.
Right. Good try. No soup for you.
And Trey, go get you some wax beans and
soup for the deli, I know.
Yeah, go get you some wax beans and have
Trey,
a good day, man. First downs for Central Clay for 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Roll call with a spidget.
Roll call, a spidget.
Spidget.
A spidget.
A spidget.
How about them Troy Trojans? How about them Troy Trojans? I don't know if has anybody seen my buddy Wally? My buddy Wally that picked Nebraska in the Lowry Locks last week. Picked Nebraska minus 10.5 in his Lowry Locks. I don't know where old Wally is. I've been looking for him all day. Mr. Lowry Locks over here. Take Nebraska minus the points. Look at here. Troy Trojans, baby. They go to Lincoln and knock off the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That's all I got to say. Wait, who's this over here?
It's not the unknown comic, I promise you that. That used to be on the Gong Show.
Hey.
Oh, man. What fun.
Hey. Mr. Lowry takes Nebraska in his Lowry Locks. Hey, I give you credit, though. That's the only game he missed in his Lowry
Locks. 4
Locks.
for 1, so if you was playing with marbles, Neil,
yeah,
you did 5 for 10 on the year.
You made some marbles.
Heck yeah, I'm 5 for 10 on the year.
Good deal. Wally was 4-1 last week on his Lowry Locks, but took Nebraska minus 10.5 over the Troy Trojans and went out there. Troy didn't need any points. They beat them outright. Wally, we want to thank the Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Turner Mowing, Alabama Real Estate Connection, Southern Animal Hospital, Pet Resort, the Crease Agency, Pig Cafe, Deep South Apparel. Look at here. Deep South Apparel.
Pete Van Holt.
Nice little Nike golf shirt he got me there. Nice. Severo, Ralph, Baker, Hastings, and Reeves, Crows Chicken. But guess what I had for lunch today? Crows Chicken from Brundage, Alabama. All-Star Collision, Jones Medical, Health Actions, the UPS Store, Hooks Barbecue, and Marco's Pizza. Thank you for those sponsors, Wally.
Hey, did I hear something about we're going to have some Marco's next week here on the set?
Next week, I believe we're going to have some. Me and Wally going to be enjoying some Marco's Pizza right here in front of you.
I'm going to be anti-keto diet next week.
We may have to
cheat. Got some Marco's Pizza.
We may have to cheat on the carbohydrate diet and get us some pizza from Marco's.
Hey, I'm for that
next week on the show. Wally, right on into the.
We got a phone call coming in.
You got a phone call coming in?
Somebody thought they found Wally somewhere.
Sports chat with Neil and Wally. What you got on your mind tonight?
Neil, Wally, Bud, Luverne, how you?
Bud and Luverne, man. Man, Luverne took care of business against Zion Chapel, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. But the reason I'm calling is, I don't know, I'm sure you've probably seen it on Facebook or heard. There was a tragic accident after the Luverne Zion Chapel game that took the life of a lady.
I did hear about that.
That was.
And I just want to say, and I've said this for a long time, you can't find a better school, man-wise, teacher-wise, support-wise, than the Zion Chapel Rebels. And the Luverne Tiger Nation heart is also broken.
Yes, and it was sad, Bud. You're right, and they do it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They're a big family down there. They really are. A lot of school pride, and sad situation for the Jack community and that school as a whole. But
it is, and like I said, we timing is everything, and the good Lord has, He makes the final decision, and He has a plan for everyone. But we kind of took care of business early and started continuous run in the second quarter and cut the third and fourth quarters to 6-minute quarters. And
they cut it short. We heard, yeah.
Yeah, and if it'd been just a little bit closer, we might not have, the referees and coaches might not have agreed to do that, and she still might be here today. But like we said, we're not here to second guess the Lord.
That's right. That's right.
And I know it's a good time in high school football right now, and I don't want to elaborate much on sports tonight, but I just wanted to call and let everyone know that the Luverne Tiger Nation over here is heartbroken and saddened, just like the Zion Chapel and Jack community.
Along with Wally and myself, it's a terrible situation.
Our thoughts and prayers are with the family, and it's just tragic because I think she was trying to raise 2 grandchildren that were of teenage age, and I think one of the grandchildren might have been there to see all this happen. And
That's terrible.
It's been on my mind all weekend. But listen, I'll let you go. I know you want to get on to brighter things, but I just want to call and let you know that the Luverne Tiger Nation has a broken heart, and our prayers are with the family.
I'm sure the Luverne community is proud that you're speaking on their behalf and
Yes.
real heartfelt. We appreciate that, bud.
Yes, sir. And I'll call you sometime. I'll call you next Sunday and let you know what's going on. But thank you for taking my call
Thank you,
and
bud.
let me speak those words of condolence.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you,
Appreciate
bud. And same goes for Wally and myself. It's just a heartbreaking situation down there.
Yes.
But anyway, Laverne travels to Zion Chapel and wins the game 47-14. And Wally, you got any stats on
Well,
that?
just I talked to Noah. He
Yeah.
coaches down there, and they couldn't answer anything. I mean, they ran
Laverne's a
the ball.
good team.
They ran the ball on them pretty much all night, and just could not find an answer for victory down there. But again, just like Bud was saying, I don't care if you're 0-50 down Zion Chapel. There's going to be 1,000 folks there every game. That community comes out in volumes to support that football team. And Coach Bryant. You leave them there a couple more years, they're gonna build a program.
I think so too.
It's
I think they're headed in the right direction.
exactly.
Pike Live beats Macon East 10-8. I'm talking a defensive battle.
Hey, I've told you beginning of the season, and I'll keep on. Pike Live, good gracious, man, they got a shot to win the state this year.
Yep.
They're just everything's just falling in place for them.
They did.
Got great athletes,
But the defense was the calling card this week, and I heard that there's a lot of quarterback runs, a lot of tailback runs. Cody hurt his shoulder. I hope he's going to be all right. But next one up was Charles Henderson. They hosted Oxford. They got beat 62-0. And as Bud was saying, they had a running clock second half. Well, so did Charles Henderson. They were losing 55-0 at halftime. Let me tell you something. Charles Henderson's got some real athletes on the field. Oxford is the real deal, Wally.
But I said this in our commentary. Coach McCoy could easily went and played Calhoun or somebody. Just
could have beat somebody.
Yes, but instead, you reach out and you go outside the box and you find these good teams, like Oxford and Enterprise, and the bigger teams that we've played over the years, and it just makes your football team better. Cause I'm telling you, next week I think it's going to be a great game against Beauregard.
And the lessons learned last Friday night.
Exactly. So
may come to
you can play a JV team and beat them 90-0, or you can play a team like Oxford and see what real football's about.
That's right.
So, Charles Henderson, don't hold your head down. Good gracious.
Hey, just 20 miles down the road, Carroll Eagles of Ozark, Wally, they had a 25-game home regular season winning streak.
Whip. Hey, check this out now. I
They
got
had a streak. They
Our
got
buddy,
snapped.
Our buddy Steve Stokes gave us some inside information on some stats here.
Tallahassee came to town.
Yeah, Tallahassee came to town, and he won our pizza, by the way. But we'll get in that in a second. But Tallahassee,
we think.
Yeah, they had 348 yards total rushing, and then Jeter at the end kicked a 37-yard field goal. But
37 yards in high school now. That's
pretty
strong.
good. They were penalized 8 times for 63 yards, and Carroll was only penalized 1 time for 5 yards.
So not a lot of penalties.
Not a lot of penalties. Carroll was 2 for 4 in the air for just 24 yards. So there again, we've been following this team a while.
They don't throw.
They don't throw hardly at all. I mean, 4 passes in the whole game. And Torrey Mulkey was 76 yards for 2 touchdowns. So a great contest, and this kind of opens the door for Charles Henderson, being that Carroll's going to have that one loss. Because, again, in area play, that they take the top 4. So
we're 1-0. Charles Henderson's 1-0.
1-0. So I think we're in the driver's seat. I mean, if you look at Greenville, they struggled.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they won, but Charles Henderson, don't get your head down. I mean, just cause Oxford. I mean, you got a lot.
That's right.
It's still early season.
That's right. And what Wally was hitting on when we got into the Tallahassee Carroll game was Carroll of Ozark had a 25-game home regular season winning streak. It came to an end Friday night. Tallahassee visited Ozark. Pike County beats Geneva 27-22, and they said that was a heck of a game.
Heck yeah. Hey, Jaden Wilson was 7 for 14. Rayshawn Reynolds was 21 carries for 200. Listen to this, Neil. 233 yards.
Running the rock.
Exactly, and they finished up with 308 total yards. And I got to listen to the end of the game on WTBF when we were leaving after our game, and a lot of history of those 2 football teams.
Yeah.
over the years, and Pike County was victorious.
27-22.
Good game.
Ayrton beats Houston County 34-0, and Ayrton needed a good spanking. They needed to get back on track.
Oh yeah, Ayrton. Let's see. I got thanks to Coach Dunn. He gave me some stuff. They won 34-0. Some standouts, some kind of local guys here. Payne Griffith, he had an interception. Blake Carroll, he had 9 tackles. Bryce Peavy had 147 yards and 2 touchdowns. And old Jackson Blair, he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yep.
So now they're going to have to travel to Daleville next week. And Coach Dunn told me that they are now a 2A. Daleville.
They're down to 2A.
Down to 2A. So, a lot of people leaving Daleville, I guess, going to Enterprise.
Or Dale County or
Dale County, exactly. So they will be playing them next week.
How about that? CCA beats Sparta Academy 57-0. Poor Sparta.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Billings, he texted me this morning, and he's mad at you because you don't ever talk about Penn State. Eddie's a huge Penn State guy.
Get out of here.
So,
that Big Ten. Hey, the Big Ten, I saw a thing on that Sports Center. The Big Ten has lost 7 non-conference games in the first 3 weeks.
There you go, Dr. Billings.
Guess how many non-conference games the Big Ten lost all of last year? 7.
7.
And they've already lost 7 this year. So in Penn State, we might talk about Penn State if they start pushing to get in the top 4. All right, Dr. Billings.
Poor Eddie. Anyway, Eddie did tell me that they're 4-1 on the season. They're still strong. Their only loss was to Pike Live Lawrence.
That's right.
But it was kind of a no contest. They just blew them out left and right.
And Goshen beat Sampson 18-0. Kind of a weird score, but 18-0. And Goshen defense, I had heard that Sampson had the real deal at quarterback and was putting up some points.
I heard
and
it.
Goshen shut them out.
Shut them out. I was told that was Coach McCoy's nephew.
I heard that too.
And he's a stellar quarterback, but they were just not enough to hold off Goshen, where they won 18-0. Caleb Dawson did extremely well. And listen to this: at the half, Goshen and Sampson had a combined for 7 passes only. They were 7 for 25, both teams, and they both had 2 interceptions. So that's saying, that was another just a defensive type battle. 18-0.
Wally,
Goshen.
before we announce our Player of the Week and our large Street Top and Marco's Pizza, and before we announce the Beat Wally contest on Facebook winner, let's do the roll call of high school games. Make sure everybody knows the scores they're looking for.
Exactly. Roll call.
Roll call. Right up front, Charles Henderson loses to Oxford 62-0. Brantley beats Florala 34-6. Elba beats Kinston 38-6. Georgiana beats McKenzie 55-0. Red Level beats Pleasant Home 15-12. Abbeville beats Geneva County 32-7. Ayrton beats Houston County 34-0. Daleville beats GW Long 32-8.
Goshen beat Sampson 18-0. Highland Home, a winner, huge, 56 over Calhoun, which has not won a game, I don't think, in 2 years.
That's been a while.
New Brockton 46.
They're a basketball school.
They're a basketball school, as they told us.
They told us, yeah.
New Brockton 46, Central Hayneville 12, Luverne 47, Zion Chapel 14. Our Pike County Bulldogs, again, 27, Geneva 22. Houston Academy 52, Land of Wood to Opp.
And Opp hadn't won
0.
Opp hadn't won a game. They're down this year.
Unbelievable.
Come on, Bobcats.
Slocum 21, Strong 6, Providence Christian 35, Wicksburg 12. Bullock County, listen to this one, 22, Dadeville 17.
Hey, Bullock County with the win. Maybe they're bouncing that program around over there. Andalusia 48, Monroe County 0. Hillcrest of Evergreen, the defending state champions at 5A, 26-0 over Escambia County. Ashford 39, Dale County 14, Tallahassee 24, Carroll 21, Greenville 14, Valley 7, Dothan 30, Russell County 14, Eufaula 20, Sidney and Lanier 22, Enterprise 16, Smith Station 22, Pike Live 10, Macon East 8, Fortdale 34, Success 38, Crenshaw Christian Academy 57, and Sparta 0. Wally, we had a lot of candidates this week for Player of the Week.
Player of the Week.
But I had 4 people text me and call me and talk to me to my face. And these people normally don't get involved with the Player of the Week picking, but these 4 people spoke out. And they said, if
you get a chance, watch the film. This guy, and they two of the four even said, Neil, we know y'all like to give it to offensive players because they get the rushing yards, they get the touchdowns, they get the passing, and they get all the running and everything. They said, but this guy was unblockable. He broke up 2 passes. He had 9 solo tackles. 4 of the 9 were for losses.
Whoa.
Broke up 2 passes. Caused mass confusion when he didn't make the tackle. 2 and 3 people trying to block him. He's taller than everybody on the field. He's playing all over the defensive line, and he plays for Pike Live. His name is Ty Singleton. Ty, you win a large 3 topping pizzas from Marco's. What else?
I was just going to tell you, man, Ty, I've known this kid a long, long time. He is world-renowned rodeo. He can rope a cow on top of a horse.
Well, he was roping running backs Friday night.
He can hit a baseball to the moon. Great athlete. So congratulations, Ty.
Yeah, and Jody used to be proud, Ty, and 9 tackles, 4 of them for a loss, 2 broke up passes, and I was told he was unblockable. Even when the ball went the other way, he was knocking folks over and just causing mass confusion and gave 110% the whole game. And he alone contributed to being such a defensive game.
Yeah, well, Pike Live plays out of the region next week, going up to Lee Scott. Yeah. I don't see them.
Lee Scott. CCA whipped them in the Jamboree, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Beat Wally contest on Facebook.
Okay, beat Wally. All right.
Pat Rick Fane on Facebook. No pictures, no family.
Who is this dude?
We don't know where he lives. He's never posted anything on Facebook. But for some reason, he likes sports chat with Neil and Wally. And he went undefeated. And he was the only person out of the 50-something that played that won every game. Didn't worry about the over-under because he was the only one that went undefeated. Pat Rick Fane, whoever you are.
AKA, it's got to be Steve Stokes.
It could be Steve Stokes from Tallahassee. Because he's the only one that picked Tallahassee
over
Carroll.
Over Carroll.
But,
okay.
Hey, let me tell you this, Pat Rick Fane. If you want your large 3-topping pizza from Marco's in Troy, Alabama, you're gonna have to come clean, baby. Because we got to turn your name into Marco's to get your pizza. And I ain't telling them Pat Rick Fane won the pizza.
Just come clean,
Come
clean, man. It's all right. I mean, it's okay. People in Troy love you.
Good high school sport action. Before we move into the college, we'll take a break. We'll be right back with you. Man, you got the real estate connection, man.
Can't believe this.
Deals going on, man. You got to call up. What are you doing, man? Monopoly man. They don't play games up here in Alabama Real Estate Connection. Get out of here, man. Hey, you got to get out of jail free card. You got to call Toby and Dean Adams right here, 566-4765, the Alabama Real Estate Connection. They don't play games up here. They're dealing. Wally, what you working on there?
Oh man, I'm working on this yard bird right here. Man, Neil, this paint's going to the loo, brother.
Now, you know where you can get some good chicken like that fried up on the bone?
I don't know, man, but I'm getting hungry.
The Old Barn Restaurant in Goshen, Alabama. Give them a call, 484-3200. Why, they got quail, catfish, hamburger steak, shrimp, seafood, and free cheese biscuits with your dinner. They're open Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, and lunch after church. Wally, this thing looks pretty good. Are you through with this? I didn't mean to mess it up. I'm sorry.
Hey, Neil, I need some help, man. What are you doing? What are you trying to grill? I done burnt my barbecue, bro.
Those ribs look crisp, man. What in the world have you done? You have ruined those ribs.
I can't grill, can't have nothing, man.
Man, Hook's Barbecue's right down the street, the best barbecue in South Alabama, probably in the southeast United States. Hook's Barbecue, man, it's right over there. Give them a call. They do catering. You can get ribs like that. Like, all you got to do is go through the drive-thru and get the ribs. 808-8008. Call them for your catering. Anything you need, they can fix them. They can fix any type of catering order you need. Don't cook your ribs like this, burnt crisp. Man, I done went and got me some Crow's chicken down in Brundage, Alabama. Wally, this is Crow's chicken. Look at this sauce I got.
Oh, man.
This is a nugget snack from Brundage Crow's. This is the real Crow's with the real chicken nuggets like an old time. Big, thick, juicy, fried perfectly, just like the old days. And Crow's in Brundage. Give them a call, 735-3005. I'm fixing to look at that.
Hey, put them on Armstrong.
Where? What's man, give them a call. Brundage Crow's. They cater.
They even got fried catfish on Friday nights.
What is that, man?
What is it?
Is that the Teletubbies? Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds.
It was either the Revenge of the Nerds or the Teletubbies. One of them.
Revenge of the Nerds. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember it. You play that. I cut it off, man. We got sports to talk about.
I love that, man.
Wally,
Clap your hands, everybody.
getting into the college game, let's just go ahead and start with Troy. 24-19 winners up in Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Take the money, baby.
1.15 mil.
Took the money and ran.
Take the money and run. That should have been our intro. Take the money and run. 1.15 million along the way. They pick up a W over the what are they? Nebraska's won national championship 6 times.
Yeah.
I mean, just a stellar NCAA program with Tom Osborne through the years. And Scott Frost supposed to be the up and coming, turn everything around. National champions last year at UCF. Well, Neil Brown showed him how to win a football game, and that was 24-19. We held them off, and we intercepted the ball on the last drive. It wasn't like penalties or anything like that. I mean, our defense intercepted the ball on the last drive, and.
But in the beginning, Neil, I'm gonna tell you, those referees were just hosing us, man.
One time we had a catch, and they called it an interception on a bomb. We got some highlights we want to show you. We'll get David to run those highlights for you.
The first 3 games of the season for the Bulldogs since 1915. Troy versus Nebraska. Cornhuskers punting. Sedarius Ruckert. They played great defense, Troy, in this game. But how about the special teams in the individual effort here by Ruckert? He makes 4-5 Nebraska Cornhuskers miss until he hits the track down the sideline, puts on the brakes, and scores. This was an impressive game for Troy on the road. Later in the second, Nebraska's in the red zone down 17-0. Can they emerge? Andrew Bunch to Stanley Morgan Jr. It's unthinkable that Troy could come to Nebraska and blow them out. But early in this game, it's looking like they're going to run away with this game, but Nebraska fights their way back in. P.J. Smith's second touchdown of the game. At LSU last year on the road, head coach Neil Brown is going to be a hot commodity out there.
Got grit. Our kids play super hard. They believe in what we're doing. They believed in each other today. We didn't necessarily play very well, but we got some key turnovers. Thought our defense.
Man.
Hey, Ruckert, he ran the first touchdown on a 58-yard punt return and got the scoring started for the Trojans and put them ahead 7-0. And he's a very fast, athletic defensive back. Coach Koenig, quote, says, hey, he's a hard guy to coach, but he's so athletic and so talented and so fast. You just got to let him play his game and tell him, go get the ball and go make interceptions and go do your thing. And, hey, what a freak of nature is Mr. Ruckert. And he reminds me of Leotis McKelvin. They used to run kicks back. Leotis had a several-year career with Buffalo Bills there, so that's a good one to be compared to right there. Congratulations to the Trojans on the trip to Lincoln and getting that W against the Cornhuskers.
Neil, I remember when Troy went Division I the first time. I think it was 2001. That was our first big game. And that was the year they won the national championship that year.
Nebraska.
They had a Heisman Trophy quarterback.
Yep.
Halftime, Troy was winning. They were winning at halftime that year of 2001.
Really? I thought they just scored first.
No, I think they were winning at half.
Okay.
I'm about positive.
Okay.
Because I think the line was like 40-something.
Yeah.
I mean, it was,
Well, I heard, I heard Coach Brown talking about it, how bad they had whooped us through the years. And this is a different caliber Trojan team coming through. This is a different type of recruits coming through for these Troy Trojans. These are real 3- and 4-star athletes on the field.
Well, I guess
Troy.
our big question is, does it hurt the Trojans playing out of conference, some of these bigger schools? I mean,
I don't think so. First of all, you got to keep your facilities top notch to get the recruits. You got to be better than the other school to get those recruits. And in order to build those facilities, you got to go get those 1.5 million paydays. So you got to sacrifice a little to get, you got to give a little to get a little. So, and then when you go win it, think about the recruits now that are saying, well, I was thinking about going to South Alabama, or I was thinking about going to North Alabama, or I was thinking about going to UAB, or I was thinking about going to Jack State, or I was thinking about going to West Alabama. I'm going to Troy. They whipped Nebraska on Big Ten network television.
Man,
last year they beat LSU on the SEC network.
Yeah.
I mean, so this, paydays and recruiting, no, I don't think it hurts the Trojans.
Okay.
I don't. Wally Neal Brown, I thought he had Coach Brown calls the plays. He is the wisdom behind the offense. He's also the head coach. But I thought he had an incredible day calling plays.
He did, and it was great.
3rd and 2s and 3rds and 3s. We were getting 6 or 7 yards. We had them so fooled on 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 2 at times. I just thought, he went in there and demonstrated he was going to call plays to win the game. He didn't go in there calling plays to let's keep the clock moving so we can keep it close. No, he went in there to win the game. He had seen on film that his athletes were just as good or better, faster, and bigger. He went in there calling plays to win the game, and that earned me some respect. Not that I didn't have respect for Coach Brown, because I do, but he called plays to win right out of the gate too. Right out of the gate, he called the plays to win. And that's awesome to have a coach like that stands behind his players and say, "We're going in there to win." And Caleb Barker, the quarterback, he was 11 for 21, Wally.
110 yards, 66% completion ratio.
Yep.
Hey, that's pretty good there, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now he's from Decatur, correct?
He is. He is. Yeah, he's from Decatur, and he had other offers and chose. That's what I'm telling you. These kids that have other offers are now choosing Troy. Even some junior college kids, that have chances to go to bigger positions, they're choosing Troy.
Yeah, I listened to an interview. Barry McKnight was interviewing him pregame, and seems to be a nice kid. I mean, just very well mannered, very nice.
Yep. He didn't have any interceptions, and he was the ultimate game manager for Coach Brown Saturday. He didn't fumble it. He saved some bad snaps with his quick hands, and I mean he was the ultimate game manager for the Trojans Saturday. In talking about the running game, with Jamarius Henderson, whom Coach Brown on this show said he was the most talented running back and athlete on the field for the Trojans. This kid's in the doghouse, and he's still suspended indefinitely by Coach Brown. Didn't even make the trip. Our best running back, our slickest running back, the guy that we hope carries the team is in the doghouse and don't even play. He don't even play. And we still found a way to run the ball effectively. As you saw in the highlights, B.J. Smith just ran it right up the gut for a 24-yard touchdown. He had 11 carries for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. Smith had 4 carries for 60 yards. Barker, from the quarterback position on some of those awesome play calls from Coach Brown, he actually had 8 carries for 12 yards, and it would have been a lot more yards, but there was a couple of sacks in there that brought his rushing yards down. But Smith, the other quarterback, had the 60-yard run. That's why he's got the 60 yards on there. And hey, the defense also stepped up, Wally.
Yeah, defense, Neil. Let me tell you, they were knocking some heads.
They were flying around, weren't they?
They were flying. They were quick. Just Johnny on the spot. I noticed kind of like third quarter. I was worried. I'm like,
here's where they're about to make the push.
Yeah, they're about to make the push. Can the defense stand up stronger and harder than they have in the past? And they did. They went out there, and I think after the third quarter, Nebraska was just like,
these guys are, man. Nebraska was like, these guys are really good.
License plate signs they're gonna start getting up, like LSU.
Yeah.
So
no telling. Wally, the defense had 2 interceptions and a fumble recovery, which the 3 turnovers were huge. Coach Koenig had said we need, and hey, kudos to Coach Koenig. He said we need to be +3 in the turnover ratio. And guess what? We were +3, and that helped us win the game right there. And hey, speaking of the defense, man, Nebraska was bringing in 5-star running backs, 4-star wide receivers, 4-star linemen, big-time recruits, much more heavily recruited than our Trojans. And it didn't matter. These guys stepped up. They covered them man-to-man. They covered them. Hey, running backs, we caught them. It was beautiful. It was really beautiful. Now, the one thing that we don't need to happen is to have a congratulatory hangover.
No, we don't need that.
This Saturday we go to Louisiana Monroe on the road. And Wally, when we asked Coach Brown, sitting right here between us, who he thought the sleeper was for the Sun Belt Conference this time around, who'd he say?
La Monroe.
He sure did. Trojans got La Monroe down in Monroe, down there at La Monroe.
Duck Dynasty land.
It is West Monroe. Yep.
Let them rip, potato chip. I love
And
those guys, man.
hey, they'll probably be at the game. They're big fans.
Oh yeah.
But Troy they better study this week. They better be prepared. They better practice hard. Coach Brown told us right here on this show that the sleeper this year was Louisiana Monroe. We hope there's no hangover. We hope they play well. Good luck to the Trojans. Wally, I've said it for several years. Even when I was still at the Supreme Court with you back 10 years ago, I said, Wally, I want Troy to be the next Boise State. That was back when Boise State was doing the Statue of Liberty against Oklahoma and all that.
Oh, yeah.
I want Troy to be the next Boise State. And I've been telling people that for 10, 12 years. I want Troy to be the next Boise State. And then to hear Coach Brown sit up here, and I didn't tell him, I didn't say that. Coach Brown sat right here between us and said, Boise State is where we need to be. The perception of Boise State, where they are with their program, that's where the Trojans, that's our goal. That's where we're headed. We want everybody around the nation to fear us like people fear playing Boise State. Now, Boise State got beat this weekend, and yeah, hey, it's okay. You know, Boise State not going to win the national championship, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. But, I can feel it coming too, Wally. Troy, they go to LSU and they beat them in Baton Rouge last year. They go to Lincoln and beat Nebraska this year. We almost beat Clemson in Clemson last year. All those people that have scheduled Troy in 2019, 2020, 21, and 22, they're thinking, hey, athletic director, what are you doing, man? You got Troy on the schedule? You got Troy coming to our place in 2021? What do you? I'm telling you, that conversation's being had over coffee. We got Troy coming in here in 2020, and we're paying them $1.3 million. I'm telling you, that conversation is happening right now. Yeah, Troy's turning into the next Boise State, and I called it 10 years ago, and I'm so happy for my Trojans.
Yeah, one guy saying, this is Stony Brook and Troy. Who picked this one?
That's right.
I had the Stony Brook and San Jose State, and you go over here and pick Troy.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Dadgummit. Man, what's going on, Wally? What's wrong with that thing? Oh, Neil, Dad, my gum, man. I can't cut grass. I can't have nothing anymore.
Is it broke? I mean,
I don't know.
I chopped it all up over there.
Yeah, pretty brutal. What I should have done was called Blake Turner with Turner Mowing at 334-465-0600, and I wouldn't be in this predicament right here.
Best rates in town. Call Blake Turner. He'll give you a low quote. He'll give you the best job.
Dad, you're how long you been on Fortnite?
24 hours, man.
Yes, it is.
What's wrong, right? What's wrong?
I've been on Fortnite all day.
Wally, what are you doing? Man, I've been on Fortnite all day.
What's wrong with your hand?
Man, all carpal tunnel.
You been playing that for how long?
24 hours straight, man.
You got carpal tunnel in your hand?
Yeah,
hey,
playing
Fortnite.
Yeah, where can I go and get some help for this?
You better call Health Actions out by Zaxby's in front of Hooks Barbecue. They got all the physical therapy you need. They can fix that junky looking hand right there, carpal tunnel. Give them a call at Health Actions, 670-5435. You have a choice when you go to see your physician. Tell them you want your physical therapy at Health Actions. Call them today.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah. Hey, man, come here for a second. Yeah, what is that?
Man, I just crashed my drone, man. Good.
Crashed it up in the tree. Man, you should have got some insurance on that thing.
You think I can get some drone insurance?
Man, you call Mike Crease at the Crease Agency. They got over 20 types of policies: liability, collision, house insurance, home insurance, car insurance, boat insurance, jet ski insurance,
and drone insurance.
You might can get some drone insurance, man. As many times as you stuck that thing in that tree, you better get some insurance on that thing. Call Mike Crease, Wally.
24 types of insurance there too, Neil. Call him 334-566-8776.
Hey, good evening, everyone. And I'm Wally with Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. You can watch us on Sunday evenings, but what I really want to tell you about is this TENS unit I got from Jones Medical Supply. You know, local owned does make a difference.
What's up, Wally?
Hey, Neil, what's up, man? What you got? That's my TENS unit.
What is that thing right
there?
there?
Well, when I had Bell's palsy, I had facial problems.
What if you turn it
like
this?
1.21 gigawatts, Neil. Hey, take it from us. Call Jones Medical Supply.
You'll get good training, better than mine.
Toto, baby. I guess the rain's down in Africa.
That's good. Tribute to the hurricane folks in North Carolina if they're watching.
Oh my goodness. Come on, man. We gotta get some Van Halen on that thing. I'm over there to tell you right now, Van Halen.
That's one of the best songs of
One-hit wonder. Cut that trash off. Hey, Joe, Anna, Ames, and David Ames checking our show out right now.
I saw David in Publix doing a little shopping. He was doing the honeydew list.
Oh, was he?
Earlier today.
Only one they said.
Of course, I'm in there pushing the boogie for my wife. I can't say nothing.
Hey, the only one in there missing is Diamond Dave Hennigan.
Yeah,
he
right.
was not there.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank y'all for watching the show and giving us and telling us y'all watching it as a watch party.
Yeah.
Hey, we don't make this stuff up. It's just what you see. Slinkies, Mr. Potato Head, you name
right.
it. We do it all. Hey, Neil. Ad lib. Hey, Alabama, baby. Let me tell you something about this. Folks, I've been a Bama fan all my life. Huge Bama fan. But I've never seen an offense like this in the history of Alabama. I mean, dude, it's a scoring machine. And Tua now, I call him the Flying Pineapple. He is probably going to be in the running for the Heisman. There's no doubt. He is so cool, calm, and collected when he's back there and his feet set and he throws it. It's just on the money.
I mean, no doubt, man.
Phenomenal.
He has definitely put himself in the Heisman race. You're exactly right.
And thing about it, Ole Miss has always been kind of a thorn in their side in the last couple of years.
Here lately, not always.
I mean, always, but
they had to go to Oxford.
Oh yeah, went to the Grove. But I tell you what, you look at this game and you break it down. Hey, 7 people scored touchdowns.
Yeah.
7.
Only good thing that happened over the Grove was the party started in the third quarter on the
Yeah,
Grove.
exactly, because it did. But Jalen Hurts played again. That was a big social media thing because under those new rules, you could only play 4 games. And
save your red shirt.
Yeah, and my wife last night, she's sitting there watching, and I was telling her, I said, why is he playing? She goes, I think they could play 5. And I said, no, it's 4, I think.
I think it is 4.
So this is what, number 3? What's going to happen now if he comes in and plays that 4th?
Well, he can play that 4th.
He can play the 4th.
As long as he doesn't play more than 4.
Does Saban save him in dire straits need? But looking at the schedule, I just don't see.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. He's going to play the 4 games, and then he's going to be out. And Saban's going to have an understood non-written agreement with Hurts that says, hey, I will allow you to save your red shirt so that you and your family can make an educated decision when the season's over. And Saban says, I'm not going to get in your way. Then, if Tua turns an ankle, or if Tua separates his shoulder, or if Tua breaks a collarbone, or if Tua gets in concussion protocol, I think Hurts saves the day and stays at Alabama even as a graduate because he loves that program.
Yeah, I mean, you got such a dynasty going on there now.
Yep.
Just unbelievable, the athletes that Alabama has. And sure enough, Neil, I go get a drink, and they score like a 75-yard bomb.
First play of the game.
I'm like, what in the world?
You missed the kickoff. You missed Ole Miss's touchdown.
Yeah, I'm like, what in the world? It's just like the Arkansas game where the dude does the fake
fake punt return. The guy fake. I don't know how you can fake a fair catch, but the North Texas guy faked a fair catch. And all 11 on Arkansas said, well, he fair caught it. Let's just walk off the field. That joker went about 80 yards for a touchdown.
But anyway, besides that, hey, that was the only time they scored the whole evening.
First play of the game.
Again, the kicking team.
That looked better.
It
looked better.
I know Jeff Ellis, our buddy. And Jeff's one of the best pickers out there. But on social media, he'll start talking Bama stuff, and he's so right. And I told Jeff this. I told him, I said, and this is no joke, they need a team of psychologists and a few psychiatrists, which are medical doctors.
Wait a minute, psychologists and psychiatrists?
Yeah,
together?
Because they're going to need some medicine when I tell you this. Because psychologists cannot give you medicine, but the psychiatrists can.
How do you know this?
I just because I majored in psychology, so I know. But anyway, they need a team to sit around these field goal kickers and placeholders and find out what's wrong. I mean, have a group study.
I think the placeholders are doing all right.
I don't know. It could be. It could be the underlining common denominator of this whole thing, because you cannot have a program like Alabama and be just in the poo-poo hole with dadgum kicking. It's embarrassing. I don't know what the deal is, Neil. It's just it's sad. I need to go see Jason Jones and get an oxygen mask every time they line up the punt.
Well, Alabama won 62-7.
It don't matter. I need an oxygen mask every time.
Guess how many extra points they missed? None.
Well, they can't even get it down the middle. I mean, it just I just don't know.
It counts for 1 point if it goes just in or just down the middle.
Psychologists come help. But anyway, again, Ole Miss 62, the 7 defeat by the Crimson Tide, and next week Alabama at home, Texas A&M. Now listen, on my Lowry's Locks, I picked Alabama every week, and they've covered for me every week. You will see again. I see you grunting
again.
You're gonna see Bama put probably 40 to 50.
Those crimson colored glasses gonna come back to bite you.
Neil, there's just no way.
Jimbo, man, gotta have faith in Jimbo.
Jimbo, oh my,
Jimbo Fisher, man, come on.
He should have stayed at Florida State. But what I'm trying to say,
he saw the writing on the wall down there.
Poor
brother.
Florida State. I just feel, but they got to give that coach some time to build that program. I feel sorry for him. Social media's just eating him up.
Yeah.
Give that guy some kudos and let him build his program.
Yeah.
It's not fair. I saw stuff about even.
Hey, when you
Coach
make
Brown needs to go down there.
No, when you make a couple $1 million a year, if you don't have your team prepared 3 weeks in a row, you can't say it ain't fair.
Well,
the man is making a couple $1 million a year. His team has not been prepared 3 weeks in a row. He knows there's going to be a backlash.
Are they still wearing the fanny packs when they make interceptions?
No. Yeah, they did something. Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, Neil. Moving on to your good old team, Auburn football. Tell me what happened, man.
Well, what happened?
What happened?
What happened was we got flagged for an interference call
that's
on the last drive, which put them in field goal range, and the guy hits a 42-yard field goal to win the game. And as good as Auburn played in the second and third quarter, Auburn scored this many points in the fourth quarter. And when you don't score any points in the fourth quarter, odds are you're probably going to lose in an SEC tight battle. You score 0 in the fourth quarter. Auburn doesn't have a satisfactory running game, Wally. They do not have a satisfactory running game. And until they get a satisfactory running game, and Gus said in his interviews, he's still not ready to name a starter. They're just giving it 3, 4, 5
in the early part of the season. They still don't have a starter.
They still don't have a starter. And I predicted Auburn would go 8-4.
You did.
And I said their first loss would be LSU.
Hey, can I tell you some quick facts about Gus Malzahn? Just for our viewing audience.
Yeah.
Gus is 15-17 against
Gus Bus Basher. Go ahead. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. We're ready.
No,
we're ready.
I'm going to tell you, Gus is 15-17 against
What happened the day after
teams.
Thanksgiving last year? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, anyway, he's 10-15 since 2014. Also,
that's not good.
Also 8-10 against LSU, Georgia, and Bama.
That's not
and
good.
then to put the ice cream and Cool Whip topping on top, he's 1-4 in bowl games. Is this what Auburn wants? I mean,
who else is out there? Neil Brown.
But
is there anybody else? Is there anybody out there better than Malzahn that we could hire that would leave their program to come to Auburn? I mean, I don't know, Wally. Jared Stidham was 16 for 27, 198 yards and a touchdown. He had an interception on the first drive, and that was a terrible interception. It put LSU in a short field, and they scored in 3 plays, and it was 7-0 in about 5 plays in the game.
Man,
7-0. So Auburn was digging out of the hole to start with immediately. And
now I was going for Auburn because I don't like LSU. I've never been an LSU fan.
Yeah, most people were going for Auburn. Because, you got Orgeron.
That guy.
But anyway,
man, he could have played in Sling Blade, man. I'm telling you.
I think Stidham is officially out of the Heisman talk. You know, his name was mentioned a little bit
in the beginning,
but after the first 3 weeks, nah.
But hey,
because if a quarterback wins the Heisman, you got to have a running game to balance things out to be able to get those big yardages.
Yeah.
But Auburn doesn't have the running game.
Well, I'll tell you this: Auburn normally, when they lose a hard one at home, they always rebound the next week. So
hope so.
Well,
they got Arkansas coming in there, and guess who beat Arkansas this week?
Oh my goodness, North Texas.
North Texas beats Arkansas.
Auburn will beat Arkansas by 3-4 touchdowns. I mean, their school is horrendous.
That's enough Auburn. I'm upset with them. I don't want to talk about Auburn. I'm a Troy fan, but if I have to choose between Auburn and Alabama, I'm an Auburn fan. So there it is. And Auburn did not win the game. They did not make the big plays down the stretch to win the game, and LSU did. Tip your cap to Orgeron and crew. They got it done and kicked the field goal.
Can I tell you this? Sure. Neil Brown and Coach Clark up at UAB are better coaches than half these SEC coaches. You heard that from us.
I got you.
I mean,
I got you.
I'm
not going to argue with you.
I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Unbelievable.
I'm not going to argue on that. All right, that wraps up Auburn and Alabama. We'll take another quick break, and we'll be right back with you to talk about some more college football.
Good morning, everybody. This is Neil from Sports Chat with Neil and Wally. It's time for my morning biscuit. I want you to look how big that biscuit is. I'm going to put this butter on that biscuit. Came from the Pig Cafe out on North 3 Notch. Go see Yanni. Get you a real biscuit. Hey, Wally.
Hey,
What you got there?
where'd you get that biscuit at?
This is Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch. Where'd you get that?
Oh man, 231, one of those big box chain stores out there.
Man,
They even got a paper straw.
Man, look at the size of that little thing. Look at
Good
it.
gracious.
I'm about to put butter on this. It's 3 times the size of
I
that.
should have gone see Yanni.
Go to the Pig Cafe on North 3 Notch or call them for catering 334-770-0134. Get a real biscuit.
Don't want a wimpy biscuit.
Our patients trust us, and you can trust us too. At Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort, we're a full-service animal hospital offering preventative care and hospital care with complete in-house laboratory testing. You'll also love our on-site pet resort, featuring individualized care for your pet during their vacation. We believe every animal deserves the best care possible, and that's what we deliver every day. So the next time you need veterinary care, see Dr. Steve Barron at Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort.
I can't kill this thing, man. Hang on, Wally. You done figured that thing out, man.
That's looking good, bro.
You were in the tree every day. Man, can you believe he ain't got it in the tree this time? Look at that. Whoa. What's going on here?
man.
What's going on?
I didn't hit your vehicle, Neil.
Wait a minute. Man, look how scratched up that thing is.
God almighty, who can you call to get this
Call
fixed?
Derek Bell at All Star Collision, 808-8822. Any type of crap like this, or when Wally wrecks his drone, call All Star Collision, Derek Bell, 808-8822 on 231.
Who's that? Winger?
Winger. This is my buddy Judson Edwards' favorite group of all time.
Boy George?
No, Nelson.
Nelson.
Oh,
I
man,
knew it was
Nelson.
either Nelson or Winger or something.
Oh, Nelson's great, man.
Good Lord, Nelson. Sounds like an old restaurant out in Nelson by the lake out there. Nelson,
geez.
Wilson, Nelson was it?
Nelson.
Come on.
Nelson twins. They were twins, man.
Yeah, they did the doo-wop, didn't they?
Oh,
Wop, wop, whatever it was, doo-wop song.
Lord.
College football across the nation. We hope you enjoy our quick hitters on Facebook. We try to list the important games in our area or games that everybody might have interest in as quick as possible on Saturday and Sunday mornings. Get the quick hitters out there. Hope you enjoy that. But we already hit on this one. Arkansas. Really, Arkansas? Really?
Yeah.
North Texas dominates Arkansas 44-17. Is Chad Morris the fix in Arkansas?
I don't think so. I just.
Are they regretting firing Brett Bielema?
Oh, man.
If the athletic director had to choose tomorrow, all right, nobody's going to say anything. Nobody's going to get on to you. This is the board of directors talking to the athletic director. Nobody's going to get on to you right now. You can have Bielema back right now. No questions asked. What would he do?
Oh, ain't no doubt.
I'll be back with Brett Bielema.
In New York, man.
Hey, he's got the better looking wife.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But he'd be
That
back.
joker had a good looking wife. He was as ugly as me.
Good gracious. But Arkansas, man's just
Oh, man.
nothing.
I'm going to tell you. Georgia cruises past Middle Tennessee 49-7. Quietly, softly. Quietly.
You don't hear a lot about 'em.
Nobody's yelling Georgia Bulldogs this year like they were last year. Nobody's harping on Jake Fromm and Mr. Andre Swift. Nobody's jumping up and down about Georgia. Why not? Watch out. Sneaky, quiet. Georgia, undefeated. They cruise. 49-7. They're getting better every week. That confidence is growing every week in Georgia. And sooner or later, all the big talking heads on ESPN and CBS are going to start talking about them. Ohio State answered the challenge down at Jerry World in Dallas. They beat TCU 40-28. My good buddy Ricky Clark, the owner of Pike County Ford, is a big TCU fan. This is what they do, Wally. This is Horn Frog. This is what they do in the stands. 2 fingers up. That's the Horn Frog.
The Horn Frog?
Coming at you, Horn Frog.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, TCU put up a fight now. But, hey, Ohio State answers the bell. For the first time this year, they really got challenged. 40-28. FSU's a mess, Wally.
Yeah. I don't know.
We already talked about it.
His buyout is enormous.
It is gigantic. if they don't like Willie Taggart when this year's over, break the bank.
Yeah,
break
well, you know,
the bank.
they don't have money like Texas does, you know, where they just millions every day roll.
I mean, I'm sure you can say money's not an object when it comes to head coaches, but my gracious, we'll see how that goes. If he on his press conference said, "Don't anybody give up on this team." So we'll see.
Yeah.
Willie Taggart has proved himself as an offensive coordinator. He has proved himself as offensive coordinator, but he may not can handle the huge lights of being a head coach at Florida State. He may not can handle that. Clemson's controversy at the quarterback position may have resolved itself.
I think it's
Lawrence took over after the injury and led them to victory over Georgia Southern, 38-7, and he looked good. So we'll see where that goes next week. Clemson's still undefeated. Nebraska barely beats Vanderbilt in South Bend.
You mean
touchdown?
Notre
Jesus.
Dame?
Notre Dame barely beats Vanderbilt. I'm sorry, apologize. Yeah. Touchdown, Jesus, up there in South Bend, and
hey, we better watch out for Vandy. I mean,
what?
They're not going
to lay down against nobody.
I mean, they're not going to. I know they're in the East Division of the SEC, but they're going to give a lot of these teams fits.
That's right.
think.
That's right.
I really do.
Wally, BYU, the Cougars, travel across the country, all the way over to Camp Randall, played Wisconsin, the Badgers. And it was a knockdown drag-out. BYU wins 24-21. And Hornibrook, the quarterback, just did not have a good day. He did not have a good day. And, hey, if you're going to be one of the 4 teams standing at the end of the year to make the playoff, your quarterback's got to be stable every week. Every week. You have a bad – if you ain't got a defense like Clemson, Ohio State, or Alabama, your quarterback's got to play every single week. Stony Brook had a week – he had a bad Saturday. Wisconsin loses. Wisconsin loses. Texas beats USC 30-14. Hey, 2 in a row for Herm. Hey, Tom Herman. Tom Herman, 2 in a row. Is he turning the Longhorns around? Have they come around the curve? Is Texas coming around the curve? They got the recruits.
They got them.
Texas.
And the money.
Texas has been awful for 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years, 8 or 9 years, Texas has been awful, but they're in the top 15 of recruiting every year. It ain't like they haven't been recruiting good. They just forgot how to win. They didn't believe in themselves. They hadn't been believing they were going to win. 2, 3, 4 people going pro from Texas every single year. The fastest wide receiver ever coming out of Texas. They're going pro and having great pro careers. Texas has got the recruits. If Tom Herman can make them boys believe down in Austin, watch out. Them boys got some recruits down there now, I'm going to tell you. Well, let's go ahead and talk about it, Wally. When we hired Neil Brown here in Troy, me and you and David Hennigan talked about it, and we said the best thing that can happen for Troy University is that everybody wants Neil Brown in 3 or 4 years.
And it's happening.
And it's happening right in front of our eyes. It's happening right in front of our eyes. The best thing that could happen for Troy University is for everybody to want Neil Brown in 3 or 4 years. Well, it's happening. It's happening. Neil Brown is a real deal. He's a motivator. He's smart. He knows what's going on, and he has proven that he can be the head coach of a big Division I program. And he is starting to turn some heads. And if he leaves Troy, it's okay. Coaches leave places.
Oh, yeah.
Coaches grow. Coaches desire to coach huge programs. Coaches want to go home to their alma mater. You know, coaches want to – it's okay. That doesn't mean he doesn't love Troy. And it's awesome that Troy University's coach is wanted.
Oh, yeah.
But if it was over right now, what schools out there are calling on Neil Brown right now?
Well, you could scratch Florida State because
the buyouts
too big.
And they're going to give him a 2-year grace period?
Yeah, exactly. Gotcha. I mean, this is just me. If I was Coach Brown, I'd hang around Troy another 2 years, win 2 more Sun Belts, and then, my gracious, your stock is
Or you beat LSU last year, you beat Nebraska this year.
Oh, yeah.
Do you strike while the iron is hot?
Yeah, well, I mean,
it could go either way. You're right. You're right.
You want your stock like a Coca-Cola stock. You know, Coca-Cola's never gonna go down.
It doesn't go up, and it
just stays.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Neil. That's a good question. Real good question. I would hang around Arkansas.
You just wait on Arkansas?
I'd wait on Arkansas. Because Arkansas historically is.
I kind of thought that if Kentucky flopped and Stoops fell on his face, that Kentucky might be shopping for Neil Brown. But, hey, Stoops got Kentucky undefeated. They're undefeated right now. Beat Florida for the first time in 84 years or something crazy. I don't know. But anyway, the Neil Brown sweepstakes is probably beginning. It may not be a real sweepstakes when the season's over, but it's the beginning of the end of next year maybe, like you said, if he sticks around another year. And hey, that's the best scenario for Troy University is that everybody wants our coach. That means we're winning. That means we're beating huge teams. That means we got a hot commodity. Be happy for Troy University. Exactly. Be happy for Neil Brown and family. That's awesome. To me, it is.
Big time, brother.
Wally, we got some big-time games coming up Saturday.
And you ready for the
Lowry's
Locks? Hey, I am 10 up. Big
10
time.
up, yep.
And I've only lost 5. So
old boy's picking them now. I got to give it to him. Now, I like to knock him upside the head last week when he picked Nebraska, but that's okay. That's okay.
All right, are y'all ready?
Write them down.
Get your pen and paper out.
Get your DVR set or get your pen and paper out.
Hey, because when I give you these, you're going to be pretty happy.
I'm going to even write these down. I'm ready.
All right. Take Ohio State -34 over Tulane. Tulane's horrible.
Green away.
I mean, good gracious.
Yep.
Vegas missed the line on that.
Gotcha.
Take Bama -26 over Texas A&M.
Rose-colored glass. I don't like that one. I'm telling you right now, I don't like that
I
one.
love it.
Bama can't score 40, 50, and 60 on everybody, and they don't do it this week.
They do it again.
Bama scores in the 30s this week. Write it down. They either score 30 or 39, somewhere along in there against Texas A&M. And Texas A&M scores about 14 or 17.
Okay.
The score 37 to 14 or something like that. They don't cover.
This is where you're going to get your beach house. This is the beach house pick right here.
Bankroll.
Florida -6 over Tennessee.
Florida wins one game this week, and you're jumping on the bandwagon.
No, just trust me.
Florida wins one game this week, and you're on them.
Just trust me, buddy.
Okay.
Just trust me. Mizzou +16 with Georgia. I like that.
Mizzou +16 at Georgia.
At Georgia. And then Troy, go ahead and take them, -6.5.
Oh, now he's jumping on the Troy.
No, Troy 6.5 at La Monroe.
Now
La
he got on Troy.
Is, I think Vegas missed that line. I think
Troy's 8 or 10 points better?
I think Troy's 10 point. You'll see that line go up.
Now he's jumping on Troy.
All right, recap. Ohio State -34, Bama -26, Florida -6, Mizzou +16. Watch that one, buddy. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. And Troy -6.5.
Hey, you need to announce your Beat Wally high school games
on
Facebook. These are going to be the high school games you got to pick on Facebook this week.
Charles Henderson hosts Beauregard. Goshen is at New Brockton. Ayrton is at Daleville. Zion Chapel is at Calhoun. Pike Lib is at Lee Scott. So those are my picks. And
about the over-under?
Charles Henderson Beauregard. That's going to be a good game.
Total points, Charles Henderson Beauregard. They're playing right here in Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's
homecoming, man.
Homecoming.
I hope, hey, y'all roll his yard, whatever you do. Right.
Hey, they've done it every year for 4 or 5 years. They got me 3 times one year.
Did somebody put a toilet in your yard one time?
Man, anyway.
I think that was Brian Meadows that did that for you. But then we got a minute left. Anything special you want to talk?
No, let's. There's some big games. Let's just talk about some big games in college football. Not a lot of big games this week in college football, but some. Georgia goes to Missouri, like you said. You took Missouri plus point. Georgia 16-point favorite on the road. Bama hosts Texas A&M. Mississippi State goes to Lexington.
Hey,
Kentucky's undefeated.
Oh, I know.
Mississippi State is undefeated.
Hey, what about my nephew going to West Virginia? Kansas State at West Virginia.
Kansas State at West Virginia. West Virginia highly ranked. And Clemson is at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech coming off a loss. Georgia Tech with that wishbone is always dangerous coming off a loss. They rarely lose 2 in a row. So watch out for the Yellow Jackets in Clemson this weekend. Troy is at Louisiana Monroe, and Florida goes to Knoxville to take on the Big Orange.
Okay.
And Mr. Pruitt, the new coach up there, married a Troy girl, Casey East. And best of luck, Coach Pruitt. Be pulling for you, And we'll be pulling for you. And as the show comes winding down, you got anything else?
Nothing, man. Just say y'all have a great weekend, Mr. Potato Head, Mr. Slinky. Where's your props this week? This is the guy
my fan, man.
The fan. Okay.
Yeah, I got my flag.
Well, hey, everybody, be
safe. One more last roll call on the sponsors. Old Barn Restaurant, Turner Mowing, Alabama Real Estate Connections, Southern Animal Hospital and Pet Resort, Crease Agency, Pig Cafe, Deep South Apparel, Severa, Ralph Reeves, Baker, Hastings and Reeves, Pros of Brundage, All Star Collision, Jones Medical Health Health Actions, UPS Store, Hooks Barbecue, and Marco's Pizza. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.